Hi, everyone. Thanks for taking the time to listen. And I believe that everybody's got a unique story, and this is mine. My name is William McLeod. As you can tell, I have a bit of a funny accent all the way from Scotland in the UK. I'm married with a beautiful wife, Regina, and I have 3 children. My daughter's 31, my son's 29, and I have a 10-year-old daughter. So my background is actually in flooring. So I used to have a carpet business, and I trained in apprenticeships, trained people, sold carpet, and it was very stressful, very physical. It was like always draining. And my dad told me when I was young, get a trade, work hard, and you'll be successful. But the problem with that is I picked the most physical job you could think of, right? So every day I was beating up my body, I was in pain, I was really stressed. But year after year, it took a massive toll on my body. And then but it was all I knew, because my dad says, because he was an employee and he told me work hard and get a trade, because that's what he thought success would be, because you could make more money, you could work longer hours if you want, you were more in control than being an employee. But I realized later that that was actually a trap. So one of the things that really made a big difference in my life was when I read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So the author's Robert Kiyosaki, and inside that book, what he done is he actually taught about the 2 dads that he had. So one dad was his mate's dad, his best friend's dad, and he was like financially illiterate, but didn't do well at school. But then the other dad, his real dad, he was like academically really good. He was a lecturer. He had bought a house, and he just followed the mainstream: work hard, get a job, you retire at 65. With this other guy, he worked smart. He started learning how to get money to be a slave to him, rather than him a slave to money. So it talks a lot about leverage income and things like that. So that when I read that book, it just absolutely blew my mind. I was working long hours, working hard, 10 years, 20 years, and I'm thinking to myself, why am I not getting anywhere? I'm paying tax, I'm working hard, I'm trying to build my brand, and I just kept paying all the money to the government all the time, and then employees, and it was so stressful. And then when I read that book, it was like, oh my God, I could see that I was doing things the wrong way. So that's why we can spend $10, $20, $30 on a book and get somebody's wisdom and save ourselves a lot of pain, and then speed up our journey. So I read that book, and then I read the next book that he made. It was called Cash Flow Quadrant, and it shows you the 4 different ways you can actually generate income. And then what we're doing is I'd seen that on the left side of that quadrant, it was actually a trap, because when you looked at employee, they work in 40, 50 hours a week. They want more money, you do more hours. And then you say, well, I want to be self-employed, which is the next quadrant, or a specialist. And then that quadrant where if you don't work, you don't get paid, you make more money, but you actually can't take a holiday, because as soon as you stop, your income stops. And then the 3rd quadrant is the one that I started focusing on, was how do you build business, but how do you tap into a proven system where it's like a turnkey business? So then I started building a turnkey business alongside what I was doing in the flooring. And then 2.5 years later, I actually managed to exit that. And it just changed my time. I freed up my time, more time with my family, traveling, money coming in. Even when I was sleeping, I was making money. But obviously I had to work hard and do something different to create that exit strategy. And now we build the business online in multiple countries. So it's quite exciting how, if I never listened to the books, read the books, I probably would be still stuck in the same place. So as a child, I was always had a passion for helping people. Even my parents, when I was growing up, they kept going, wow, because every time I got lollies, I would share it with somebody. I could be like 2, 3, 4-year-old, I'd be sharing my lollies all the time, or I'd share my toys all the time, where other kids are going, no, that's mine. I was just share and always help people. And I was a team player right from the beginning. And as I went through my life and my friendships, and I've always been like loyal. How can I help you? How can I serve? And even right up until this day, if I learn something, I want to share it, because I could see the difference. If I can share things with people, it can make such a difference to their life. Now, one of the things that I seen when I was growing up is my parents were quite dysfunctional. So they were fighting, they were arguing, there was violence, there was all sorts of things in my house. And that was obviously when you get brought up with that as a child, it's quite traumatic. But the biggest thing is, because I went through that really crazy upbringing, I actually became a strength of mine. So then I didn't use it as I'm a victim, look at this, right? I actually turned it into my strength. See, now I want to focus on helping other people. How can you have a better marriage? How can you have love and harmony with your children? How can you become a better dad, husband, wife, whatever it is you care about? Because isn't that what it really, really matters? We can chase the money, but the money runs away. But then we go home and we have a dysfunctional relationship. So I believe that if you want to be successful and you want to be wealthy, it starts in the home. It starts with the relationships. It starts with the energy at home. Is it anger? Is there resentment? Is you blaming each other? See, once you can work together with the people you love, it becomes absolutely magic. And then why would you go conquer a mountain and be successful if you come home and there's drama? You're going to get distracted with the drama. So I believe that we're designed to work together, but unfortunately the system that we're born into is actually, it's designed to keep us against each other. Because if you're against each other, then you're distracted. And I think that as a society, if everybody would become a we, where you working together rather than becoming an I, where I'm right, you're wrong, and it becomes a bit of a mental battle where you're always trying to be right. But if you're right, then the other person has to be wrong. What if instead of who's right, we focus on what's right and start searching for the truth together? So if you want to learn more about these things, follow me. I'm going to post some amazing videos coming out. It's going to speed up your results in your life, your marriage, your finances, different things like that, because this is a leadership conversation, right? And so follow me and let's go on the journey together. All right. So have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.